Alright guys, welcome to Cube Draft 18, I believe. Okay, well, what is the pick here? The most powerful card in this pack is likely Wheel of Fortune. Natural Order is very good in the green deck. Pack Rat is a good enabling card in Reanimator, but I would never take it this early. Remand is also just a good, decent open pick. I also like Hallowed Fountain quite a bit. It's like an open pick. But I think here, I'm going to take the powerful card and just take Wheel of Fortune and give that a shot, because it's very powerful. And I think it's hard to go wrong with taking a wheel, pick one, pack one. It tends to want to go in Storm or Reanimator, combo decks, basically, most of the time. But, it could go into, it could go into like a red deck win style deck, I suppose. I wouldn't put much stock in putting it in a red deck wins deck. I think that's generally kind of bad, but also because you're basically taking a turn off to do it. But the card is just powerful enough that I think it was either to take the most powerful card, which is Wheel in that pack, or take the most open card, which is Hallowed Fountain. Will I have a love for blue-white? I don't think it's the best in the cube. Alright, so going with our first pick, I think Wheel of Fortune goes best with Reanimate. There's also a Kolaghan's Command, which is just a good card. There's a Cryptic Command, which is a very powerful blue card, and we could take here. What blue did we pass in the first pack? Not a ton. Cryptic is very, very good. I mean, Ulamog's also a very powerful finisher, but he's better when you cast him, like off of Channel or something, and I don't like taking big things this early in the draft. Kolaghan's Command's a good card if you know you're going to play black, but it'll oftentimes wheel, so maybe it's Reanimate. I'm kind of torn. I like playing Cryptic Command too. Is there another good combo card in this pack? Not really. The Disallow will likely not come around, right? Alright, I'm going to pick up Cryptic and just see what happens. I like Cryptic a lot, and I'm kind of turning over a new leaf with this cube. I think I have figured the cube out to a point where, just drafting correct every time is a lot easier now. Or drafting in a way to win is not that hard for me at this point. Alright, we can take the blue finisher, which is Consecrated Sphinx here. We can take Mox Diamond, which is very powerful. Top, not as much. I mean, we could try to signal blue as cut and then go into another color. I'm going to try to do that. Blue-red is not a bad deck. My drafts like this tend to go to blue-red. Alright, there's Deceiver Exarch, which is a good blue-red card. Also Thirst for Knowledge, which is not bad in Reanimator. If that ends up being something we go into, and it could be because we have Wheel of Fortune. Also Deceiver Exarch, which is just a fine card. I mean, it goes into the twin deck, the twin shell decks. Emrakul, fine. Ugin, very powerful. I'm not quite sure here. Thirst for Knowledge is very powerful with graveyard synergies. Deceiver Exarch is just fine. Just a medium card. If you get the combo, it's very good, though. You know what? I'm going to take it. I'm going to speculate a little bit. And now I'm going to start jumping into either white or red. I do have Wheel of Fortune, but I don't think Wheel of Fortune goes in this style of deck. So the pick here would be between Firebolt and Oblivion Ring. I think I'm going to take Firebolt here. Yeah, I like that. Alright, there's a Goblin Welder, which is a powerful card. Powerful magic card. There's also Dig Through Time, which is decent. Arcane Artisan is a powerful card. Could also just take Moat and go the white route at this point. The Ugin actually may wheel. Or we could take this card, which is kind of medium in my experience. Goblin Welder is also very powerful, but Moat's really only good against certain decks. Maybe we take Plateau. Dig Through Time is also powerful, but I don't feel like this deck is fueling the graveyard that well. Arcane Artist is pretty sweet with Consecrated Sphinx, right? Oh, I just missed my pick. I'm a dummy. But I did get a card that matches my deck, at least. Chandra, TOD, or Batter Skull. Well, or Dismember. Dismember's not a bad option either. I think I'm going to take Chandra TOD here. You know what? We're going to try this card out. Expansion Explosion, like, I haven't played with this card yet. This is a pretty easy Impulse. I also like Swords to Plowshares, but Impulse should not go this late. The card is very, very good, and it's a great open pick. It's great going into Pack 2, to get in Pack 1. Because it's great in control, great in combo. Like, you don't mind it in aggro control. It's not great there, because you really want to be using your mana for board impact. But this seems like it's probably more of a combo control shell, is what we're building right now. And I guess we don't need to like totally take out Wheel yet. Wheel could still be good if we get a lot of fast mana in the next couple packs. Okay, Repeal is fine. Wall of Omens is also good in like the Jeskai version, but I'm going to take a blue card here, even if it is a blue X spell. Yeah, blue is definitely cut, but I mean, I guess it was this next pack. We'll see if like the disallow came around, but the disallow is not going to come around. All right, Flame Slash, just fine. Just a fine card. Good earner. Good against aggro. It's probably not Sword of Light and Shadow. Kolaghan's Command is great, but black is kind of open, so if we want to go into black, I mean, I've seen a lot of black cards wheel. Because Kolaghan's Command is a hell of a card. This is a pretty easy pickup on Burst Lightning. I like that quite a bit. Just good early interaction, or cards that can also finish your opponent off. Flame Slash obviously doesn't do that, but being 1 mana and doing 4 damage to a creature is just a great rate. It deals with a lot of different stuff. The fact that it can't deal with planeswalkers and players, as far as life totals go, is kind of a downside, but I think that's okay. Pretty easy Mizium Mortars here. Alright, and I think black is probably more open to us, but Soulfire Grandmaster could be a splash. Yeah, I guess so could Moat. I mean, it's hard to turn down Nicol Bolas, right? Whatever. We're taking Nicol Bolas, guys. Just in case. I mean, if we go into, like, big Grixis, like, I couldn't help myself to not play a Nicol Bolas. Like, I know I already passed him on the Urborg, which kind of stinks, but what can you do? Alright, so there's a Snapcaster Mage here, which is probably what I'm going to take, despite not having a lot of great cards for it. I think I can get there on it, and I'd be taking Arid Mesa or Time Twister over it. I suppose Verdant Catacombs as well, but there's really not a lot of great red cards, and the best blue card in this pack is probably Snapcaster. I say that while looking at a Time Twister, but Time Twister is really situationally great. It's not always just great. Alright, so Tolarian Academy, very powerful thing to watch out for. Grim Monolith, also quite powerful, but I think this deck wants its second counterspell more than it wants the mana ramp. I think it's going to be kind of like a 1 land per turn deck, just looking at it. We don't know if we're going to get there on the Kiki Jiki combo. We may or may not. Alright, so there's a Through the Breach, which is a strong card. There's also Goblin Dark Dwellers, but I don't really have great stuff to go with that. I have Impulse, some Burn. That's probably a wheel card. Thing in the Ice is also probably a wheel card. I'd probably just take Gilded Lotus here, of all things. Like, Gilded Lotus is fine. Alright, True Name Nemesis is also just kind of fine. I played it in my last draft. It's a thing that kills people. Like, it takes a long time, but there's not really much else here. I mean, I can take Charter Course, which is a good card. I take also Worn Power Stone, which is also a pretty strong card. I don't know. I think I'm going to take True Name here because I feel like we're probably... I may or may not play the Gilded Lotus. I don't know yet. Worn Power Stone obviously goes better in a Gilded Lotus deck, but with 2 counter spells in my deck, I feel like, and if I possibly get 1 more, I may not be a tap-out deck. I do have some ways to impact the board, but mostly just against creatures, not against walkers or enchantments or artifacts. Although red does tend to be pretty good at dealing with artifacts. That's why I tend to, when I do a more open draft, maybe it's some of my, draft predilections. I tend to end up, if I don't, force a strategy like Death and Taxes, in a blue-red deck. I just did a blue-red draft that's going to go up on my YouTube after this. Alright, so there's Siege Gang and Venser and Badlands. I think I'm just going to continue on the blue train. Siege Gang's a fine blue-red card, but Venser is just good. Alright, so this is an interesting pack. I do think Phyrexian Metamorph is quite good. I also don't mind taking Pestermite here. We're really setting ourselves... I mean, if these two have come around to us, I feel like no one else is in this archetype. And if we do hit up... I do think the Metamorph is a better pick. If we do hit the... Okay, well, this is interesting. So how many critters do we have? 6. Jit is very good, but I think... And I like Daze a lot, too, but I think we have to take the Steam Vents here, guys. Should be disciplined. We're not that playable light. I mean, we're at 18 cards. We're nearing the end of pack 2, but we're going to end up with playable Kun, I think. All right, a Goblin Guide. Oh, Vendilion Click. Vendilion Click is pretty good for this deck, I think. I'm gonna jam Vendilion Click here. Goblin Guide's a fine sideboard card because against other control decks, like you tend to want to be more of a tempo-based deck against them. I don't think I'm going to play Wheel in this deck. I mean, it is kind of an interesting combo with Sphinx. You can just draw 14, or what is that? Draw 28 cards or whatever it is. 21. Sorry. 21 cards. 14 plus 7. It's pretty funny. It's a way to mill, is what it is. Jaretti's not going to be good in this deck. Caracas is actually randomly great against certain decks, but I'm going to take the Swift Spear. Caracas, I think this mana is going to be a little challenging at times. I mean, we have like Cryptic, we have Chandra. I guess we only have one double red spell, which is Chandra TOD. So we're mostly a blue deck, I guess. So maybe Caracas was fine. Caracas is a very strong sideboard card against like a lot of reanimator builds. Like, you know, they drop like an Elish Norn or something like along those lines, you know, or a Sheldred, and you're just like, boop, put it back in their hand. It's basically like a 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 possibly for nothing. I actually do like Goblin Rebel Master in this style of deck quite a bit because it's kind of a standalone threat that just needs to be dealt with. All right, interesting choice here. Is it Thing in the Ice? So we have 8 and others 11. I think it's probably actually Thing in the Ice because it buys a lot of time. I mean, we are running a lot of creatures, but a lot of them have flash. We have like, you know, the Vendilion Click, the Pestermite, the Deceiver Exarch, the Venser. Like, none of them are horrible. Some of them have good ETBs. Like, Thing in the Ice is kind of slow. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 basically if you count Snapcaster Mage. 8, 9, 10 spells. So it's not bad. Okay, Klasm is a decent sideboard card. If we play against my style of deck, then Klasm tends to be quite good against that. Alright, I think there was something we could wheel in this. Maybe it was Goblin Guide. I'll take Aurella. I've actually played her before in a deck, but I will definitely take Flametongue Kavu. I don't mind Kavu in this deck. Kavu really, at this point, I think has become like a blue-red card in the cube, kind of like CGN Commander. And if I'm playable short, which right now I am, I play him because I think the card is still quite good. It's a 2-for-1. It's a decent-sized body. Yeah. So we have what? 2 counters. We had a shot at a Daze, but I took Steam Vents over it. I think that was correct. I wouldn't mind like one more counter. Venser is kind of a counter as well. He's basically like a Remand, in a way, not quite. You don't get a card off of him, right? But there's obviously someone else in blue because Disallow did not come around, but that's not uncommon. There's not a ton of counter magic in this cube. Okay, so there's Compulsive Research, which is a card we would play. But I think Compulsive tends to be more of a blue-red card, or a blue-green card. I'm going to take the mana fixing here. I'm going to take the Scalding Tarn just to help fix. And I think I'm going to be happy about that. This is going to be a 17-land deck, so again, I'm still looking for 3 more playables. I will play Vu if I don't get them, though, and I will not be upset with Vu. I could even run like the Monastery Swiftspear in this deck as well, and kind of go more of like an aggro control shell, and then run Klasm maybe. Klasm's a lot worse. All right, Bolt is great. I actually like Bolt, I think, more than I like Glenalandra here, oddly enough. Although I don't know if that's right. You know, Bolt has a higher chance of wheeling. I'm going to take the Glenalandra. Against some decks, she's just a hard lock. I mean, if you land her against Storm, like, they're probably not going to get through it. And not that Storm's like the best deck, but it's a deck that can be played. All right, well, Mana Drain coming, I don't know, like 20th pick, it feels like. It was just ridiculously late. Yeah, I'll take it. It's too good a card not to play. Okay, so there's High Tide, which is a cool card. I think I actually like Spell Pierce the most here. So let's look through this. There's a Sword of Light and or Fire and Ice, which is a good sword. High Tide is playable in this deck, but not great. Imperial Recruiter is just fine. I mean, it can get some stuff and some things. I think I want more interaction, though. I think this is going to be just like an interactive, deck. But that just, it's kind of an aggro control deck because it does have like the Deceiver. I don't think we're going to get there on the Kiki Jiki Twin combo, so we're going to be playing a couple cards that are kind of a little bit suboptimal. Yeah, I mean, Inferno Titan is the kind of thing that you generally want to be doing, at 6. He's not great in Vintage Cube. There's Brain Freeze, which is something that'll probably kill us. Alright, this pack. Well, this pack has a Pia and Kira Nalar, which is playable in our deck. We're currently at 26 with 2 lands, which means we're probably cutting. Gilded Lotus is not looking like that enticing here, sadly enough. I think... So it's Incinerator Control Magic. Control Magic is very powerful, but I feel like more often than not, we're just going to be happier with an Incinerate in this style of deck. I don't think I'm going to play this card. I think I would rather have Incinerate actually in the deck than that card. Yeah, we've got a lot of counter magic. We've got the Drain, we've got the Counterspell, we've got the Snappy for flashbacks. We got a Mana Leak? Yeah, I'm going to play it. Wow. This is probably the most counter magic I've had in a cube to this point. So I have Counterspell, Drain, Mana Leak, Snapcaster. Wow, Teferi Wield? I guess no, we've been seeing a lot of white. Fire Blast is not a card I plan on ever playing in this deck. I'll pick up Teferi. I don't think there's any way I can play him, but if I could, I would. He's very good. He's very good in a deck that has this much counter magic. Turnabout. I guess we could take Seachrome Coast and try to splash the Teferi. That seems kind of dicey to me, though, guys. I could take 1,000-Year Storm and sideboard into that. That's not that good, though. It's only instant sorcery free. All right, so I'll take Turnabout. Turnabout is probably the best sideboard option in that pack. Just tap down their lands or tap down their creatures and buy a whole turn. It's kind of like one half of Cryptic Command. It's a very bad Cryptic Command. Maze of Ith or Chandra Flamecaller. I think Maze of Ith is a better sideboard option. Chandra does win the game, but I have finishers. I have Consecrated Sphinx and I have Frost Titan. Imperial Recruiter is probably fine. This is Power or Toughness. Power Tourless. So that does get Pestermite. It does get neither of these. It gets Venser. It gets Glen Elandra. It gets Thing in the Ice. I'll take it. And actually, I like Grim Lavamancer too. So blue-red is 100% open. Take the Oblivion Stone. It's fine. Is Pestermite better than one of these 4s? I think it probably is good enough. I don't know. Maybe it's not good enough. Maybe I'd put another 1 in. Maybe I just put a Grim Lavamancer in there for just burning creatures down. Maybe. Pestermite is not that great in this deck though. It is a 3 though. I'm gonna play it. All right, so 4 and 11. That seems about right to me. I've only got 1 double red spell, so I'm primarily a blue deck. Alright guys, well I'm going to go on a quick pause, use the restroom, and we'll be back to play this kind of interesting blue deck. Blue splash red deck. Alright folks, we're back, and yep, let's hit play on this one. One of the downsides of this deck is it does not have good card draw. I guess it has Sphinx, which is decent. No Planeswalkers though. I mean, we have Glen Elandra for advantage. It's going to be interesting how it plays out. It has a lot of good aggro control cards. Maybe we want to cut the Mizium Mortars though. Wow, this hand is kind of rough. Kind of stinky, guys. Alright, I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to bottom him. I don't really want to hit land. I would rather hit him than land. The Frost Titan, that is. But I also don't think I am going to be getting there anytime soon. So I'd rather have some interaction. Okay, I'm going to play this out and hopefully snipe off their, young Pyromancer or whatever they play out here. Alright, Grixis. Is this a Baleful Strix? Nope, a Signet. Okay, got it. Alright, well, if we can get a Planeswalker on 4, that's good. With Pierce. Okay, Tolarian Academy's pretty good. Pretty good card. If they play an artifact, we counter it with Spell Pierce. I think we probably do, actually. I mean, it takes them off of the mana for whatever artifact they're going to play here. I feel like this is an artifact. Alright, that works. You got it. Alright, Metalworker is A-okay. Although, it does not look as impressive with after playing on all those artifacts. Alright, going ahead, my friend. The chance of this Pierce being any good at all are pretty low. And if we do get... Alright, this is 6. Ugh. Alright, that seems good. I do not have a control magic effect in my deck, so that's not good for me. Seems good. So we may be getting goozled by fast mana into a threat, a 6/6 threat, with no control magic in deck. Unfortunately, we had a shot at it, but I think Glenn, or was it Glenn? I forget what that pick that was, but I think the card I took was more important than it. I mean, we could hit a red land or a mountain here and just flame slash or plus incinerate it, which could be okay. I'm gonna kill it. Like, I don't feel like there is a better alternative here, and just leave the Pierce up, I suppose, and hope they go for like an Ugin. Is there anything I can counter with Pierce at this point? It'd have to be like a double spell turn, probably. We're hoping at this point they're just out of gas and like they pass turn back. I can draw into like a drain into like a good threat. That's kind of the breaks right now. All right, they're playing all the colors, so I do like this matchup from the standpoint that like their deck looks greedier than hell. I'm not saying that's bad. All right, just play an Ugin. Slam. Oh yes, slam. Yes. This is exactly what we needed to have happen, guys. Now, I mean, they could have like days or like their Pierce of their own, but like whatever. Like I gotta, at least at a minimum, I'm getting this. Like, so I don't feel too bad. like if I had just gotten Ugin down, I would be like, ugh. All right, we'll wait to do that. Do we have a strong proactive play to make right here? No, not really. We're actually not the most proactive of decks. We'll probably use this to find counter magic if we need to counter something on their turn. All right, Enlightened Tutor for what? What did they enlighten? Slaver? Possibly. All right, Sphinx of the Steel Wind. Well, that is a castable card of their mana. Oddly enough. All right, so yes, we are going to Impulse here. Pretty stinky. And take Thing and say, okay, did not find a counter spell there. Unfortunately, we have quite a few. I'm just going to tap this thing down. I mean, can they shell dock yet? No. All right. Well, if they drew another bomb, like they can just get us here. Their deck does look very beatable, though, because it looks like it's very easy to disrupt this deck. It just had a very stellar draw. I mean, it's got like so many like things going on with mana. All right, if they want to do that on my end step, I think I'm cool with that. All right, we're going to let them recast this thing. All right. Well, that could have been a mistake. I guess we can Cryptic Command it next turn. So, I mean, if we get killed this turn, okay. We're going to see what they can do. See what they can do. I'm going to lose this hand, obviously. The only thing is, I mean, you are playing into a lot of blue mana here, so maybe I should have waited on that. Maybe I shouldn't have done the Venser yet. So I could have done an end step and just take the 6. I kind of played it like a tempo play. All right, so Lotus Petal, fine. I mean, if they have Storm, they have Storm. Or if they have something really good underneath Shelldock Isle, they have something really good underneath Shelldock Isle. That kind of sucks, but... All right, what have we got, man? Another humongous thing. Could be an Emrakul, possibly. But they're going to be Emrakuling into 0 cards on my turn, so that seems okay. I do get some Firebolt value off this as well. It's not great, don't get me wrong. So we want to be aggressive against this deck. This deck has a lot of big, just nonsense going on. And if we have to check our deck, I don't think we have a lot of great interactive ways against artifacts, but they obviously have quite a bit of artifact mana going on. It's like a Mind's Desire? Could be. Could very well be. It's a lot of mana, whatever it is. Mind Twist or something. Alright, Mere Battlesphere, cool. Is that it? Alright, DT, cool. Well, maybe we want to bring Wheel in. Wheel could possibly kill them. We could mill them out. They have Tinker as well in their deck. Could be a Tinker. Okay. Imperial Seal, okay. Alright, is that all? Alright, get in there, Pestermite. We're hoping to flip thing in the ice and like get a raw return in. Okay, get in there. They drew into something big here, I assume. Alright, 8 mana. Seems good. Are we damnationed? I think that's kind of a dicey play, to be honest. I mean, I guess it does. They're going to cast their Sphinx on again. This is a really slow clock. Maybe they got something else. Alright, Blightsteel. They're going to hard cast a Blightsteel. Alright, let's see more cards. Do I have an out to Blightsteel? I don't remember, to be honest. But I'm going to see additional cards this way. Alright, well, not good additional cards, evidently. I have to block here, else I'm dead. So they are probably a Tinker deck. Actually, Frost Titan would be good here, but it's my bottom card, right? Oh, I fetch with the Scalding Tarn. So I could draw into the Titan and to tap down the Blightsteel Colossus, which would be good. So I'm not just dead. Titan's probably my best. I got 2 cards left. We know one of them. What is the other? Probably just playing out the Sphinx of the Steel Wind, I would assume. And I do have outs to that card. I need to find them, but I do have outs to it. If they go double threat here, I'm probably just dead. Okay, Sphinx, cool. Okay, Shelldock Isle, is that another threat? Okay, Mindslaver. Alright, well, now I'm dead. Now I'm just dead. That's cool. So they have Mindslaver. They have a bunch of stuff going on. They have a lot of kind of nonsense going on. So, what do we think about playing against this deck? I think against this deck we want to be quick. I don't think we want to sit around. I like Glenalandra in this matchup, but I also like bringing in like stuff like Monastery Swiftspear. I like Flame Slash a lot less. Deceiver, possibly. Vu, maybe. I'm going to put this card in, I think, over possibly Repeal. Mizzium Mortars is really bad. We have Turnabout as well, which is kind of an interesting card from the perspective that it can just like tap them out for a whole turn and just like stop them from doing anything. Which isn't horrible. Grim over anything. Probably not over Pierce. I think we go back like this. Try to win with this. Win with the deck set up this way. Alright, hand's fine. This is a keeper. Do I want to play around turn 1 Metalworker? Yeah, I think I take the damage off the Steam Vents. It's possible because I saw Pierce last game. They play around Pierce if I do that. And I really do want to have double red. So if I do Drain on 2, I can play out the Piankir and Nalar and get a clock down. There's also a chance I just fling the bolt at face on end step. I mean, it really depends on what they do. If they take a lot of damage to do something, maybe I do. I'm trying to rep here that I have Pierce. Nothing. Okay. Alright, land, go. Alright, land, go. Now, if I land a Consecrated Sphinx, does the game just end? I don't know. It may. It's pretty good. God, I can't bring myself to counter that, guys. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to counter that, even though I know it would give me a bomb card next turn. Just I have a really great answer to it already in hand, and it's so hard to do that. Maybe it's wrong of me. Play an island, say go. Plus, this increases the chances that they'll play a 4-drop, and that I'll get to just play out a Sphinx and have a counterspell up if I draw into one. Yeah, this is more like what I think their deck is going to generally look like. They can activate their Hissing Quagmire next turn. Do I care about that? No. I can play out the Piankir and Nalara on the following turn and still leave up Mana Drain, which seems good to me. If they want to do 2 to me off of their Hissing Quagmire, I think that's okay. I don't think their deck's going to win with like big, flashy plays, not like incrementally, I don't think. Whereas my deck is going to have to win incrementally. So they have all of the colors of mana. Alright, just play a 6-drop. Just jam something. You don't jam like a Carnage Tyrant, I'd just be like, oh god. Ugh. Ugh. Sphinx is a 6 or a 7? Alright, what are you doing? Alright. Carnage Tyrant would be like the worst to see. Alright, it's this. Get drained, man. Is that game? Sphinx is big. It's a big lass right there. Into this. I'm going to fetch right now for an island, just so I don't want to draw another island off of Sphinx's triggered ability on their draw step. They could have a kill spell for it, but that was a big turn. Like, that drain was huge. Okay, they're going to Assassin's Trophy the Sphinx, which is good. Okay. You're going to Enlighten Tutor for something. Alright, cool. They have Tinker in hand, probably. If they're Enlightened Tutoring for an artifact, an Oath. Okay, well, that's going to get countered. This is concession worthy. Glenalandra. I was going to say, Glen Alondra is a hard lock against that deck, especially on an open board, or when they're on an open board like that. Yeah, that felt a lot better. Do I want this? I don't have anything to tinker for. I do think they're running Tinker in their deck. They have a lot of instants and sorceries. They have DT. They had Imperial Seal. I don't think it's horrible. Maze of Ith is also not horrible against Blightsteel Colossus. It just stops that nonsense. I mean, it could just be better than Repeal, right? Nah, I'm going to rejam it. I actually don't think Maze of Ith's horrible in this match because they just have a lot of big, dumb creatures. But I think this deck is set up pretty well to do well against them. I mean, that Mana Drain turn was huge. It was a huge turn. All right, well, I don't think we can toss this back. I mean, we're going to go turn... I mean, they have Oath in their deck. We know that now. I think we say okay. I mean, if they go into an Oath turn, I mean, if they mulligan to 5, like, I think they're losing the game. Because their deck just has too wonky a mana base to really keep up with, I think, just a good aggro control deck like we've kind of built our deck into. All right, Godless Shrine. The worst thing to see here would be Oath on turn 2, but we have the Burst Lightning to kind of back up our turn 1 Monastery Swiftspear. Okay, go. And get in there, you. Alright, it's not going to be an Oath. Alright, Rakdos Signet, cool. Leave up Leak here. And probably go into Rabble Master next turn. I'm telling them I have a counter spell. That's a story I am telling them right now, and I do. Alright, tapped. Yeah, that's fine. I would rather use my mana, but it could be getting discard too, hell. I mean, that's very much so an option. But they're taking damage off of this. Whatevs. I think I allow it to happen. And actually, next turn I can Burst Lightning to get a little more juice in there. I'm not going to play a dude to do an Imperial Seal, like a top-decked Imperial Seal, or a set top deck. I think that would be bad, because I do want to leave Counter Magic up in that case. But if they're going for discard, like Thoughtseize or Duress, I think I'm okay with that. The only way I really get blown up by that is like straight up Tinker. Like Duress, Tinker would be rough beats. They could always just be going for mana too. I mean, we don't know. Alright. Alright, eat a Burst Lightning. I could have saved this, but I want to use my mana up this turn. So the play here is I am pretty much mana leaking anything they play. If it's Duress, it's going to get mana leaked. They know I have Venser in deck, so like just slamming the Colossus off of a Tinker seems very risky. It would work here. Yep, that's cool. So Imp Seal into DT. Alright. Alright. I mean, maybe I should counter this. I don't think I should, but maybe I should. They don't seem to have a very interactive deck. So, like, I would be nervous normally if they tutored twice. They would be getting interaction plus an unbeatable spell. Like, right now, I feel like maybe they're just getting, like, 2 unbeatable spells. Like, but they don't have green mana to cast Oath. So that's not really a thing. I just haven't seen interaction. I mean, if they have like a Spell Pierce, I could just get blown out by like Greenland Oath. Yeah, that's fine. Oath? No thanks. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's kind of the top deck I wanted there. I think at this point, I just go for the fastest clock. This is faster than True Name. And then if they like play an unbeatable thing next turn, I have Venser to buy time. It's a Tinker. Alright, Damnation. That's kind of whatevs. They're 0 cards, though. Alright, I don't think I care about what they do here. I'm just going to play out the true name and get a clock back on them. Yes, I have Cryptic, and I could be punished by this. Like, it would have to be like something like, I don't know, like a Time Walk or something like that. I don't know. But I have double bounce and a Cryptic. Like, if this thing if they pass the turn back and I get untap, the game ends more than likely. Now I think I just hold Chandra. I think I just hold Chandra and leave up Venser and Cryptic Command. With them at one card, I feel pretty assured that this thing is going to get to go all the way. In worst case, I mean, like, if they don't do anything for a couple turns, that's fine. Go get your best artifact that I will counter. What is it going to be? Like the Sphinx? Sphinx is sweet. I may actually just Venser that to put them down. Yeah, I will Venser that, actually. If it's Sphinx the Steel Wind, it's going to be Vensered, and then, yeah, there's going to be sad times. Yeah. Alright, Mirror Battlesphere. Yep, that will get Vensered as well. That way I can do 5 next turn, and, well, actually I can do 5 plus 2. Yeah, I have Lethal. I just have Lethal off Chandra. So I might as well just do that. Venser, Bounce, and then Chandra Lethal. Alright, cool. Well, despite having kind of a rough game 1 there, we managed to come back in the last 2 games. I think our sideboard, maybe we need to relook our deck. Maybe we don't want Mizium Mortar's main deck. Maybe it's just not good enough. I don't know. In some matchups, it's really good, though. Like, I don't know. Maybe I do need to relook my deck build. I'm going to stick with it. Like, it was my instinct. And maybe Mizium Mortar's is too hopeful in this build. Like, it's kind of the worst card in my deck. But, like, what do I put in as opposed to it? I don't really want another 4-drop. Monastery Sphere is just kind of very marginal. It's okay, but it's not bad with the removal / burn, but it's just really marginal otherwise, so I don't know. Alrighty, so... I think I want to play first this deck. This hand looks fine. It's not great, but it's got a threat, it's got an answer. Against unfair decks, it's not going to be good, but we have a lot of live draws. Opponent mulligan, which is, going to be an upside for this hand. This hand was possibly a mulligan, but, I think you keep this most of the time. I'm not going to lead off on the mountain. I want to lead off on this, because there's more to play around with this, I think. Alright, discard? No. Okay, well, that's good for us. Alright, just going to play an island and say go. I don't want to expose my other color quite yet. Hymn to Churik would be kind of rough here. Okay, Impulse. Probably take Chandra TOD here. I have removal already. Yeah. I can't cast Chandra TOD yet, but she is a very strong follow-up play to True Name Nemesis. At this point, I do play out the mountain, I think, just in case I draw one next turn. True Name is hard to deal with. Now, like, Liliana the Veil would be savage. That'd be a hard card to beat at this point. It would probably just goozle us pretty good. So they know what I'm up to now. They have a pretty good idea that I'm probably on some sort of blue-red twin shell. Alright. This is like a damnation. It could be. I would be fine with that. I don't think you cast Chase here unless you want to plus him. Alright. So, Damnation? No. Gonti. Okay. I can blow him out of the way. What do they get out of my deck is my question. They could get a counterspell, which is pretty strong. I'm open to hit a mountain. If I hit a mountain, I'll probably just blow up the Gonti with Sean. Actually, I can make mana and just blow it up with Mizium Mortars as well. Just keep on plussing it. I like that, actually, the best. So, Mountain's my best draw here. So, they have a card they got from my deck. Alright, did not draw a mountain. So, I think here we just cast this, blow up the Gonti, and attack. If they took counter magic out of my deck, like, it's not really that great here. If they want to just sit back on counters, I think that's okay. Alright, they're not going to sit back on counters. They're going to play something else on a big threat, probably. Or maybe not. Alright, what are we playing out? They could have drawn my Sphinx. No, Scarab God. Okay. Okay, are they going to spend the mana to get this thing back? I guess not. So they do not want the scry. Interesting. I'll take my 5 here and have to like it. And we'll have to see what happens here. They get my Consecrated Sphinx, that would be pretty bad for me. Okie doke. I'm going to bounce this to draw. Alright, they drew a mana leak off of my cards. Yep, nope. Alright. Well, pretty savage. Just missing pretty hard here. I do think I have Mystic Confluence in this deck. I know I have, Alright. Yep. I get drained a little bit here. I'm going to stick back this turn. I have Counterspell to stop something, and then I'm kind of just hoping to hit into a mountain of some sort here. Okay. But they've got 9 power on the board, which is pretty big. Okay, block the 5 out. They're going to get this back. I mean, it sucks to have to do this, but they're going to get it back with their mana. And probably clone my my true name. Alright, I think we just call it here. We're not winning this one. We've just hit lands every turn. It's pretty savage. Alright, I don't think Mizium Mortars is horrendous here. I mean, we saw Phantasmal Image. We saw... it's not great either, but it's probably better than some of like the small dudes. Yeah, I think we just run this back. I think this deck can win this matchup. I just think, we need to have a little bit better of a draw. We didn't keep a great hand, and we drew a lot of lands. So that's the thing that could have happened in that hand. Yeah, this hand's worth keeping. This hand's not phenomenal, but it's also not bad either. Lead on this. I mean, obviously, if we get strip mined or wastelanded, that would be horrendous. This hand does not have a lot of mana, but it does have interaction. It does have a decent threat on 3. Has 2 6s. I guess that's also a consideration for not keeping it. If they play a Signet, do I just counter it? Probably. I probably just use my mana up here. Because I'm hoping to hit lands. Like if I hit lands the rest of this game, I'd be fine with that, I think. So Signet I probably just get to keep them back. This as well will be a mana leaked. I will leak it just to keep them off of knowledge. This is a card that needs to be killed fast or blocked effectively. And then Cryptic Command up on the following turn seems really good if I get to do it. But 3 mana does not spook me out as much as 4, especially with what we saw. Ophiomancer would be a good one here. We might have them in a spot where like they need to answer this. Alright, is this a draw spell? If it's like, alright, just Toxic Deluge is fine. Yep, go. Counter draw here, more than likely. Counterspell ain't bad. Get the Glen down. Now, if they have, like, Gonti, that sucks, but... Okay. Okay, Thief of Sanity. Cool. Yeah, they're stunned. Alright, just big dude. Cool. Alright, so, yeah, run it back. Turnabout's also kind of interesting, because I think they're going to have some counter spells, but I think I have more. Yeah, this hand's a must keep, I think. Just hoping no, like, power in the opener for them. Okay. Go. I'd ideally like not to see a Brain Maggot. Signet would be fine, I think. Liliana would be rough. Alright, Bob. Cool. Alright, Mystical Tutor. Cool. And they're missing on lands. Oof. Have that back. And go. Seems good. Mana Drain, fair card. How I got it 4th pick in pack 3 is beyond me. I guess there's just no one on blue. Why they would pitch another land to this thing is beyond me, though. I don't know why you would want to do that. I don't think I would want to do that, but okay. Cool. Okay, Collective Brutality. Cool. You can get my counterspell. Groovy. Nope. I could have made mana here and cast out the Frost Titan. I think I'd rather just mana drain their next play and get more cards out of their hand. And then probably get Glen Elandra down on the turn after that. This may be concession worthy. Snapcaster Drain is just gross value. Yep. Alrighty. Well, cool. 2-1 so far with the blue-red, mostly blue, splash red deck. With like a bazillion counter spells, which I never have this many counters in Cube. Got what? Leak, Drain, legit counterspell, Cryptic Command, Glen Elandra. I think that's all of them. Venser, sort of. A lot of blue nonsense going on here. And we're going to round 3, currently 2-0, which is cool. This deck seems pretty sweet, though. I kind of like how it came out. Alright, so we'll see if the opponent joins. Maybe they got the read that we're on blue. I don't know. Now, let's be honest. Most of the decks you face in the finals generally are blue-based decks. Alright, well, I'm going to keep this on the draw. I'm in the dark, too. Like, I have a Flame Slash for, like, dorks. Alright, no dorks. Alright. Go. We're in a blue mirror. I should turn off my auto yields just to show that I have Pierce. Okay. Blue-green I like a little better with this hand. And go. I want them to think I'm playing mono blue. I don't want to show them the red yet, because that may influence their sequencing. Alright, so they have counter magic likely. Why do they keep this hand if they don't have lands? Alright, they do have lands. take a look. Show me what you're working with. And they can counter this with a drain, but then they're down 2 colored sources, possibly 1 off a draw. Alright, this is going to get countered, it looks like. Yep, you got it. Days. Cool. Days for days, bro. You got it. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and tap their tropical island here. Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, we can take a 3-hit here. I mean, they got to have some stones to play a critter and try to attack with this Smuggler's Copter, though, I think, into red and blue mana that's totally open. Alright, they're going to play a Flash, dude. Counter. And counter my counter. Okay. Get in there, you. Alright, more of them? Alright, counter. Alright. Cool. Down to 9. Maybe we can burn him out. I don't know. Yep, you got it. Alright, don't really need more lands at this point. The lands are getting a little ridiculous. That's a virtual 8. Okay. That's a spooky card, by the way. So they have all counter magic in hand, possibly. I want them to fight me first. I'm not going to drop a 6-drop onto all that open mana right there. It's just too much to likely persevere through. Now, Glen Alondra I probably would drop at this point on this board. And this dude as well drop. Snapcaster. I can't use this drain, but I'll drain him anyways. Okay. Okay. All right, Counter Wars. Get in there, you guys. Okay, yep, that's fine. Do you have a big dude? Okay, a braid. Wheel, okay. I don't like wheeling there, but I guess they had to. Now I feel like it's pretty much almost impossible for me to lose, right? Okay, go ahead, my friend. Could have cast True Name out there. It's going to be very hard to deal with. I didn't have to show it to you. Come on, man. Make me show it. I just sped. I tapped through it really fast. I could have been tapping really fast, too. I mean, I did have it, but come on, make me show it at a minimum. All right. All right, that was funny. Just concede. I'm done. I'm done. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I love it. I love it too much. All right, shit's a real problem. Like, how do we deal with that thing? Like, Grim Lavamancer may be good in this match. We saw, like, a couple things that die to it. Not a ton, though. I wish I had more instant speed removal. Like, I have Incinerate and Burst Lightning. Like, sadly enough, I actually don't have a ton of instant speed removal. Like, it's actually pretty limited. I mean, I guess I have this. Expansion Explosion may be good in this matchup. Yeah, actually, I don't think I mind Expansion Explosion, but what does it come in over? And I probably Chandra. Possibly Mizium Mortars? Yeah, Expansion Explosion has to be better than that. So they have a ton of counter magic too, and it's just like an extra counter spell. It copies like one of their counter spells in the stack. And like they obviously have a ton of counter magic too. Like I mean, we saw Mana Drain, we saw Daze, saw Mana Leak, we saw Cryptic Command. So this is like the all counters all the time fight. And I like this hand. This hand's dicey from the standpoint that like it needs to draw blue mana, but if it does, it goes off. Alright, red mana. Alright, cool. Alright, I think I'm gonna lead on blue. I mean I could be like repealing a Mox or something at the end step. I cannot, obviously at this point, mana leak anything. Try to play a dude out. Jit. Okay. That's fine. We actually have a lot of similar cards, too. We both have Wheel. I did not opt to play Wheel, even though I think it's a great card. I'm going to play this and say go. Okay. Okay, Ancestral Vision. Well, one thing I can start doing is bouncing their lands on end step, because Vision does want it's a mana hungry card, it wants a lot of mana. I mean, I could also just Venser their Ancestral Vision too, which is dirty. Okay. I shouldn't have 6 here. They could have a flash threat. That's very true. I'm going to play out Venser here. I'll be the first to act. I'm going to bounce their Trop, I think. Just to slow them down a bit. Plink them for 2. I guess that was actually bad because they have Daze in their deck, but I'm not countering probably much this turn. Yep, you got him. Okay, they let it be countered. Okay. Mole Drifter, okay. Okay, got it. Alrighty, go ahead. That would have been nice with their ancestral, right? Glenelondra is going to be a key card, and then my 6s I think are going to be key here. I'm kind of shocked they countered the Vendilion Clique with a Firebolt in Graveyard, but I guess being able to look at their hand is actually pretty relevant here. Counter draw. Okay, Frosty T. I don't think they would have protected that. Maybe they would have. This is going to get dazed or countered or something horrible, but it's fine. They don't want to let me Divination plus bolt them. It's like a shock plus Divination, so they'll probably daze it, but they have 5 cards in hand. Like, if they want to counter this, I think it's okay. They're going to let it happen. That's a risky move, Monfrere. At least I think, unless they just have Jack and shit in hand. Alright, Rabblemaster. This is another thing that Firebolt can deal with. They're probably going to let it happen. Alright, they're going to braid it. Okay. It's dead. Okay. I have a very efficient answer to that. This is actually a pretty sweet game. I haven't got to play with this many counterspells, versus this many counterspells in a while, and I cannot say I am not enjoying myself. Part of me thinks they may not have counter magic because I mean that explosion is a pretty powerful effect. Like that's divination plus shock. I mean the shock is kind of irrelevant, but the divination is kind of big, and the shock's not irrelevant. Like this is a very incremental game of Magic. Well, is it worth dropping more? I have a very effective answer to this. I have a repeal to get rid of the token. I have Flame Slash into repeal. If I so desire to do that. Now the best of worlds is they try to like go for a big tap out turn here, and I'm able to like mana drain, mana leak them. I don't think they have daze, or they did not have it the turn that I did the expansion explosion, because that would have been totally a perfect daze target. That's kind of what I was trying to figure out. It was kind of like my fact-finding mission there, is to like, hey, do you have daze? And I don't think they did, unless they drew into it. So daze would still be live here. If they top decked it, like it's going to get some utility. It's going to get some equity here. All right, nothing. All right. blow this thing up. This card is not getting better. They could fight this, I suppose. I'll take the damage here. Like, it plays around Miscalc is kind of my thinking. I haven't seen Miscalc out of them, but it's not... They do have days in deck. We know that. Pretty much optimal threat. Very hard threat to deal with. You can't treachery it. You can't blow it up. Like, you can't really deal with this thing. You have to just go over it. And now the ball is in their court to act. I have a ton of burn. I have 4 damage in burn plus a 3/1, a 3-power attacker, a lightning bolt every turn essentially, which tends to be quite good. Do I care about this? I mean, do I care? I'll mana drain it for funsies. Nothing. I mean, like, treachery is really bad here. Control magic is bad, but we could probably beat that. I just don't want to get mised out. Like, I really don't want to get twinned out here. Like, that would feel so bad. Sure. Have a Lotus. Go to 9, cool. I'm going to do this. Pestermite this. Have the cards. Four. All right, lethal. That was kind of the fight we wanted to cause there. Sweet, guys. So 3-0 with blue-red. Pretty sweet blue-red deck. It did not have like a Splinter Twin combo in it, but it was running Pestermite. I didn't put it beyond my last round opponent. They did have the Splinter Twin or the Kiki Jiki in their deck. Their deck also looked very sick. I mean, we both had very sick blue cards. Hope you guys enjoyed the draft. I've got 2 of them that are going to be coming up. A 2-1 with blue-red. More of an aggro control version. And this version, which is more heavily blue and probably more of a control build, had the most counter magic I think I've ever had in well, at least this iteration of Cube. I've had more counter magic in Cube historically. But counter magic, tends to be pretty good if you can back it up with some decent threats. And we had, the Consecrated Sphinx and then like the Frost Titan, which both are pretty marginal. I mean, as far as finishers go in Vintage Cube, they're both kind of medium. But the value of Consecrated Sphinx obviously goes up the more counter magic you have in your deck. And Mana Drain also puts its value up because if you can play it on a turn early, or many turns early, when you can still leave up counter magic underneath it, it tends to be very, very strong, especially with all the busted mana that allows people to ramp things out fast. And you can convert that into your mana, which is good. So anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed it, and take care now.